What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mobile video. So I have some pretty interesting information to share with you guys about the M4. So apparently next season, for season 3, we are going to be getting a huge buff for the M4. So I never thought I would hear myself say that because, let's be honest, the M4 is one of the most neglected weapons in this game. And for the most part, M4s typically in COD are usually supposed to be the most balanced. While, according to the standards here in COD Mobile, yeah, it is balanced, but at the same time, it's one of the assault rifles that is left behind the most compared to most. I mean, if you compare it to the ICR, the M13, Swordfish, I mean, this weapon really can't compete. So out of all the assault rifles that can 4-shot, or at least have the 4-shot capability, I would say that this was the worst one. And that's mainly because I guess the damage multipliers are kind of strict. You'd have to shoot like in the upper body in order to get the damage value of 26. Of course, they did buff the headshot damage to I believe 31. And it does help a little bit, but still, it's not really enough to compete against other assault rifles. But you guys should have seen it before it was buffed in one of these updates from the past. So, I mean, I think it was almost a year ago where this weapon did get a buff, but like I said, it's not really enough. But before, you would land all 5 shots on the head and there would really be no change to the damage. I think they did this because, I mean, they obviously improved it because, yeah, it's not really fair that you don't really get rewarded for being extra accurate. So the headshot damage would be bumped up from 24, 21, all the way to 31, which is pretty cool because it does help secure 4-shot kills a little bit more, but that's only if you land 1 shot to the head. And for most assault rifles, given, most of the recent assault rifles at least, given that they have a massive headshot multiplier, all you need really is 1 shot to score a 3-shot kill for some of them. And that's what kind of sucks about this one. This one just doesn't. Even if it has that 31 headshot damage, it still barely secures the 4-shot kill. There are weapons such as the KN-44, the HVK, the LK-24 that have very generous 4-shot hit areas. But when it comes to this, it's like XPR levels of bad. And why being XPR is that, if you put stopping power on it, the 1-shot kill area is still very strict. And that's basically the same situation here with the M4. I think one of the main reasons why it didn't turn out the way it should have after the buff it received is because they only applied it to the chest. They didn't apply it to the arms. And, it's very common to hit people in the arms, especially in gunfights or if they're just running by you or something like that. Getting shot in the arm is, like I said, very common. But they didn't set the multipliers to that specific area, so no matter what, you were going to get a lower damage value. So what they aim to do for the M4 is that they're going to improve the headshot damage multiplier as well as the arm damage multiplier. As for the exact multiplier, I don't really know because they just said that they were going to improve those areas. But my best guess is that they're probably going to improve the headshot to the point where you can at least score a 3-shot if you do land all shots to the head, or maybe even 2. It's really unknown as of right now, but of course I will update you guys when the exact information comes out. As for the arm damage, I think they're going to have it fine-tuned as, alongside the body damage, so the 4-shot could be a little bit more, I guess, generous. Like kind of how it is with the LK-24 or even the KN-44. I don't really expect it to be the #1 weapon in the game, but I'm just hoping that it does help its kill potential, because right now, honestly, it gives me anxiety whenever I get into a face-to-face gunfight with someone because it's not really clear whether or not I'm going to win the gunfight. It really depends on what weapon they're using. If they're using like an M13 or a Swordfish or something, I'm pretty much done. Thank God these 2 matches that I went against people, or actual people, they were really incompetent. So if I went against real, really good players, it probably would have been a shit show. But, looking back at the M4, I mean, it kind of sucks that it never really got the support, and it kind of makes me wonder why they even bothered to have a legendary for this skin if they weren't even going to buff it at the time. The Court Jester is one of the best legendary skins for the assault rifles, and it sucks that it's on a weapon that was so shitty for such a long time. But of course now, anyone who bought this is now going to have their money's worth once this thing gets buffed. And I've said this before, for all of you guys that buy legendary skins, you know, or I guess every single one that comes out, or maybe even some, yeah, like, of course you guys wonder whether or not it's worth it, because if you buy it for a shitty weapon, I mean, you're not really going to use it as much. You want to get your money's worth as much as possible, but that's the one wonder of, you know, buying these legendary skins. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. Yes, you could have a legendary skin for a very shitty gun, but it'll be shitty for that moment, and later on down the line they might end up buffing it, and you could actually end up using your legendary skin a lot more than you thought you would. I mean, a good example of that would be the Type 25. I mean, I had 2 legendary skins before it was buffed, and I never really used the weapon because it was so unreliable, but when they buffed it, it made it actually worth buying those legendary skins. I know they didn't have a nerf for the Type 25, but I mean, it's still very, very reliable, and I still enjoy using those legendary skins when I ever get the chance to use the Type 25. That's one of the cool things about buying legendaries and mythics. They never really seem to feel like you waste your money on it, because, you know, at some point in this game, it's gonna be very, very good. I mean, let's say, for example, you regret buying an RUS 79U skin, but then later down the line, you're not going to, because they made a random buff to it, like something that you weren't expecting to happen. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that the M4 is getting a buff. And don't worry, I will be going over the other weapons such as the HVK and ICR. But today I just want to focus on the M4. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe for some more COD Mobile content. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.